How is it going, everybody? And welcome to my channel. Today we are gonna look in a little bit more competitive deck after all this fun stuff that we did together. And this is a Dimir mid-range control-ish type of deck that I come up with the idea. I already spoiled it a little bit in the beginning of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, based around Thieving Skydiver. And I always was looking for opportunities or for possibilities to break this card, and I think I found it with these two new additions from the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. This is Blade of the Oni and the Reality Chip. Both really super powerful cards, but downside is the reconfigure cost is really high. And this is how we can surpass the reconfigure cost, because Thieving Skydiver has a kicker ability, and it says whenever it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, and kick cannot be 0, you gain control of a target artifact with mana value X or less, and then if it's an equipment, we attach it instantly to the Skydiver. This means instantly things like Blade of the Oni can just be paid for 2 because the mana value of it is 2, reconfigure is 4, and we can instantly attack it to the Thieving Skydiver, who becomes a 5/5 menace flying creature. This is just really huge value, especially if you play it on turn 4. It means on turn 5 you have already, on turn 4 you have a big blocker with flying that is really good against Goldspan Dragon and all these current often used 4 mana dragons or 4 mana creatures that can go fast in, but also on the way back we can attack. Because we have menace, we can bring this damage through. Our opponent is forced to make unfavorable blocks. The same is true for Reality Chip. Reconfigure cost for 3 is not as high as maybe by Blade of Oni, but this is also something that allows us to take over the game and just play our spells from the top. And then some other really cool additions, I think some people of you will definitely really like it, is Curse of the Leeches. And this is a card I thought this would just fit perfectly in it, because we often, let's say we play something and then we do nothing, right? We just look to react or counter-react our opponent with things like March, Spell Pierce, Fading Hope, Jwari Disruptions, saw it coming. So you see, maybe we have some counter spells or a lot of counter spells, but also some board control against creatures, and usually creature matchups are good for us. The only matchups that I found really toxic and really difficult are these all sweeper matchups, right? But there in general you need to be really careful. Maybe just take your time, counter the sweepers that necessary to counter, the rest will come from alone. And then of course our Curse of Surveillance, because Curse of Surveillance also amazing card draw. If you slap it on the board on turn 5 and opponent don't answer it, you basically win the game, because you start drawing so much cards. Even if it's just one card, doesn't matter, you draw it constantly. And especially if you have Curse of Leeches and Curse of Surveillance together out, or maybe multiple Curse of Leeches. I had some games where I drew, for example, 3-4 cards in a turn, right? So this is just huge. Then some other really cool inclusions in this deck that I found really helpful. You see here maybe the Inventive Iteration is a 4 mana Zaga that barely sees play, but I like it really much because it's not only a great tool against control decks, because the enchanted creature that comes up after the chapter 3 says whenever you cast a spell, your opponent can cast spells with the same mana value as the spell until your next turn. So this is a proactive counterspell. Let's say we prevent opponent if we suspect something being played, we can proactively prevent it. But also we can bounce a creature against a creature matchup, or if opponent has maybe, I don't know, Liar on the board or something else, then we can return an artifact. We have some artifacts to return if we want to return them, so if we have them we can return them, otherwise we just draw cards, so pure value here. And then another Zaga that is also barely seen, Behold the Unspeakable, a 5 mana Zaga, but this is especially against all this enchantment and aggro, tokens go white, synergies. This is amazing because it says on the first chapter, creature you don't control get -2/-0 until your next turn. So for my turn and for the opponent's turn they will get weaker. And then if you have one or fewer cards in your hand, and sometimes we do, we draw 4 cards, and if we don't meet the requirement of one or fewer cards, then we scry 2 and then draw 2 cards. So again, amazing value here. And then the creature that comes out is a Flying Trampler, the Vision of the Unspeakable, and it gets +1/+1 for each card in our hand. So as soon as we get it bigger, it's a Flying Trample, and you know what happens if you have Curse of Surveillance also there. It will be just a huge flyer with trample, so also really great to finish out the game. For the sideboard, let's go shortly through. You will see it, we will play best of 3 games. You will see it, of course, there too, but I just want to mention some stuff and I want to talk about it also a little bit in a breakdown if you don't see some synergies. So, of course, I try to keep it really simple, but also you can include these cards into your best of 1 sideboard if you, let's say, miss some of Marches or miss some of Oni Blades or miss some of Leeches or anything that there in this direction. You can just addition it, right? Just keep in mind that your mana curve should stay relatively low, because we are running only 23 lands with our Jwari at 26, but we need Jwaris often just to keep up an additional counterspell. So we have 2 of Hermits, of course, against control matchups, provide some damage and also provide some disruption of the curve from opponent. Then we have 1 Grasp and 1 Soul Shatter against aggressive or dragons matchups, because I find myself often plays against easy dragons, Jeskai dragons, stuff like this. Then 3 of Kaito, of course, against control matchups. Again, just an amazing tool. Not only he protects himself when he comes in, but also he constantly provides you with card selection, card draw, and some creatures to keep up the pressure. Ray is, of course, amazing against mono white. Then we have here Negate, Go Blank, because I found myself also playing sometimes against Reanimator deck. This is why I put Go Blank in, and Graveyard Trespassers. Simply the best. Graveyard Trespasser, by the way, can also go in the main board, because I was always like thinking, should I cut maybe some curses here, should I cut maybe some Zagas here, because he's amazing. You can play him and then just turn it to night, constantly keep on the pressure, keep exiling cards from the graveyard and stuff like this. So this is also just a really great tool. If you don't have something, this will be the first card I will put into my main board. Otherwise, guys, I hope this deck is so far clear. If there is any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments down below, or maybe just look the game breakdown where I will talk about every card a little bit more, or explain some synergies that we maybe didn't saw in the gameplay part. Otherwise, let's go straight into best of 3 queue, and then after that we're gonna play some best of 1 with it, so you can enjoy it in both of these modes. And here we are in our best of 3 game against Dr. Franchitai. Franchitai? Okay, we are on the plate. This is something really nice. Skydiver with Spell Pierce, not the best, but I would say we keep, right? We keep it, play the Skydiver, then try to keep up the Spell Pierce. Looks like a Golgari build. This is okay. Another land is not a good draw. We function perfectly with 4 lands. As more we get, as better, of course, but we should not flood too much. And because from now on we can provide some pressure, we can counter some stuff. So this is, I think, pretty good hand to keep on fighting here. Next turn depends what we are playing. Maybe we will play Tiefling and still keep up the Spell Pierce. Or maybe we gonna play something else. Okay, my opponent has a difficult decision on turn 2 already. This is interesting. And Skydiver is also great because there are a lot of artifacts and currently that are played. Not only treasures and all these vehicles, but also things like, I mean, Chariot is a vehicle, but maybe some other like mono red aggro, right? They play also some artifact creatures that we can take over. This is just a really cool tool. Okay, what's wrong with my opponent? Can my opponent please do something? So now we draw Curse of Leeches. This is a really good thing. I don't know what my opponent is doing. If this game will be shitty like this, I will definitely record another one or do another one for you in best of 3 queue. Here in this play, we definitely will attach the Curse of Leeches because opponent is on the draw. This allows us to, let's say, skip a turn without keeping the counterspell open, because I don't think my opponent has a lot of threat on turn 2 or turn 3. I'm more scared of turn 4, things like Soaring, things like, how you call it, Binding of the Old Gods and stuff like this in Golgari. This is something I want to prevent. Of course, also Jessica Chariot. Turn 3 in Golgari is not as impactful as, for example, Ores of turn 3 or Mono White or something like this, right? They have really impactful turn 3s. Okay, my opponent says Sanavi. Guys, let's do another best of 3. This is not a good representation here. I think my opponent will quit the game anyway. First game of the day and opponent like this. This is great. And for people, I know some people say and ask, as long as we have your time, I can explain that some of my games are not a good representation of the decks and stuff like this. I know it sometimes it is like this because, as I said, I don't have as much time as other content creators to create my videos. I have maybe 3 to 4 hours a day maximum, literally maximum, to test the decks, to play them myself, because I want to play for my enjoyment too, but also to create some content for you. This is why maybe some games are not as, let's say, as representative as I would like it to be. But I try to keep the best games, of course, or the games where you see the most, or I explain the most for you, so you maybe gain there some information out of it, and still put some other additions. Okay, this is, Jesus. This is a weird hand to keep. Opponent goes first, we have no counter spells. I do not expect my Blade of Oni to survive, but Curse of Surveillance could maybe do some good. March will not be helpful at all, but let's see. My opponent seems to be playing now. Okay, at least something. Check for traps, check it, my friend. So let's see what we can top deck. Another land here is not the best draw we could have. Okay, of course, Blade of Oni has a 2-drop gun, then we're gonna play our reality chip out. Tiefling is the next, so then next turn we can already play stuff here. And let me see what my opponent has. Nothing really important. So let's skip the turn. Don't want to play Tiefling now, because I want to play Tiefling next turn, instantly equip the reality chip to it. Let's see if opponent has Binding of the Old Gods. And I mean, something he should have, right? Maybe some removal spells. He mills. Are you something? What are you? Reanimation deck? Okay, he milled Thingy Boomby. I don't know how useful this would be. Okay. And now, sure. Let's kick it, right? For 2, auto play. Tiefling can instantly come in and take over the reality chip. Opponent has some interaction, or maybe the land is forcing him to do something. This land will be good for Curse of Surveillance. And now if opponent sweeps, my reality chip will still stay there. Next turn curses. Oh, interesting, nice. Sure, we can take action now. Take another black source. And pass. Passy. An opponent with dig up. What do you want to dig up? What do you want to dig up, my friend? I mean, I didn't make any sideboards, right? I didn't expect my opponent to stay in the game, but still, I think we are pretty good here. My opponent doesn't seem to have a lot of crazy shenanigans here. Let's put a curse on him. Let's attack. And let's draw some cards. Another land, okay. Next turn we draw 2 cards. Okay. Take something, my friend. So you are some sort of discard reanimation or some discard Shigeki shenanigans. Interesting. Definitely cool take on it. Opponent is scared of the March. Why, you have a Planeswalker, you have Lolf or something? And March, who doesn't know what it does, it's basically against aggro it's really good, but also against some control decks it's pretty nice. Because you can cast X and you can exile black cards to cast the X cost. So let's attach another one. Don't show my opponent a Skydiver. I think something like Meathook Massacre or something could income. And maybe we draw something for 2 mana like Jwari Disruption or Spell Pierces, something like this, right? I mean, Saw It Coming will not help because it costs 3 mana, but still. The curses will draw me a lot of cards. My opponent has 4 mana open. Shigeki brings back the Duress, sure. I don't know if this is really something you wanna do. We draw how much? 4 cards? 2 here and 2 there, right? Yeah. This is a lot of cards, my friend. And this is how curses can get out of hands. Take something, my friend. Yeah, he had enough. But we're gonna do another best of 3 because this was not a good representation. I mean, you saw some parts, but not all the parts that I want. And you see, I climbed really constant with this deck. Yesterday I finished in Diamond 3, I think. I was testing some games. Now, since I test this or played this deck, I'm climbing constant. So let's go into another best of 3 game. So here we are ready. The JV, or is this, should be this like a 4? Romic 4, you said? Romic 4? Opponent on the play, we have Spell Pierce Skydiver, but no black mana, so we need to mulligan. After the mulligan, we see the hand that is not much better, but it's okay. I think I will bottom Saw It Coming, keep up the Spell Pierce, Fading Hopes, and Tieflings. So let's try it like this. The GB. Okay, I need more blue sources, not more black sources. Opponent is on Selesnya. Oh no, Naya. Okay, Naya. It's interesting. Naya on turn 3, can you do some good? We draw just lands, right? Yeah. End the turn. End the turn because I don't wanna know what my opponent is playing here on. No. Let him invest some mana into it, right? So let's play Reality Chip. Okay, this is also good. Like a secondary Fading Hope. Let him invest some runes. This is a rune deck, Naya runes. So this will be a really interesting matchup, I think. You will enjoy it. And we're already thinking about sideboard, right? In general, think about what could help against this. I think maybe 1 go blank will be pretty fine, and a little bit more removal instead of counter spells, because things like spells pierce we don't really need. Okay, another reality chip on top is not the best. If I equip you now, do I have time after that? Is the question. If I play you now, I think I want to start ticking this card faster, right? I want to start ticking it faster and see what my opponent does from here, because we still have our Fading Hope. I would like to have another blue source definitely, so I can play Sky Tiefling, equip the Reality Chip and keep up the Fading Hope or the Spell Pierce. So blue source is needed. Really badly. Let's hope that our Inventive Iteration, yeah, and Living Breakthrough. Literation. Funny that literations are currently really good in standard, huh? And I think this enchantment is also, this Zaga is really good. But we're gonna see. My opponent maybe with Showdown the Scout, maybe it makes his decision a little bit difficult, okay? Commune, so this is a basic Naya rune list, right? So things like Hollow Haunted we wanna counter, things like Showdown the Scout, and we wanna pack in some removals for all this stuff, maybe even some graveyard hates. Okay, a visitor, sure. Okay, we can prevent this 3 damage. Reality chip is good in it. Okay, now we draw our Meathook. Meathook can go for 2, right? Currently 2 does me nothing. There is a land on top, so if I equip it now, I can play the land. For 2. We play it. We equip it. We play the land for blue and another black source. Okay. And the turn. And the turn. So now we can also Fading Hope anything he gives lifelink. Now Jukai is of course super powerful tool here currently. Let's see if he somehow can outrun or prevent my opponent from escalating here. So Zeiju, sure. Take action. Another blue source. We need a lot of blue. Curse of the Leeches is also good. And where is my opponent going with it? Sure. Sure. Okay. So, what is my opponent currently going for 4? We're gonna bounce you back. Curse of the Leeches, will it be helpful is the question? Or do we sweep next turn everything? Bum 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 bum. Let's put it down. Right now I don't need it. Oh, this is better. No blocks. This is much better. Okay, Kami. Ame. For how much? For 4. This means that you survive. I can play him. Kill Runeforge, right? Next turn depends what he's doing. Spell Pierce on top is not like super dangerous right now, I think. Wait, can I somehow kill it? Let me think. If I play you for, let's say, 3, right? I kill 1, 2, 3. Then I will have 1 left, but I cannot exile anything to kill off the Runeforge. Okay. Let's go. I think I can take this damage for now. For 1, 2, 3, we will get back the reality chip, of course. Boom, 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 boom. You see now, and if I would have now another black source in my hand, I will be able to play March, exile this black source, and kill off the Rune Champion. And but we don't have any other black sources here. This is something sad. This is a little bit sad, but it's okay. So as I said, I think Sword Coming can go, one of the spell pierces can go too, we don't need so many. As I said, we need to counter Hollow Hunted and we need to counter Showdown the Skull. If this is a net deck list from runes, then they run 2 Hollow Hunted and 3 to 4 Showdown the Skull. I don't expect my opponent draw all of them. This is why I think 3 Jwari Disruptions and 2 Spell Pierces will do against it. The rest will be just board control. So things like Grasp, Graveyard Trespass will be also good here against the Tendance, Kami, and other things. So let's see, another Runeforge Champion, okay. Now, doesn't matter what rune my opponent is taking, I can counter it. Maybe he takes Rune of Speed, yeah, to draw an additional card. Spell Pierce is already waiting for it. Yeah, can I please counter it? Thank you. The game didn't want me to counter it. Opponent goes for 4, this is okay. Okay, another Jwari on top. The question is now, do I kill something or do I not kill something? Here's some Runeforce champions. We can Skydiver. For 2 we have 2 mana left. This will allow me to... Yeah, I think this is okay. Skydiver for 2. Attach the reality chip. Let's see what we got on top. Another Jwari Disruption, okay. March can go for 1. Sure. End the turn. I hope this was not a misplay. Maybe a little bit greedy, but we will see. Some Fading Hopes will be good, some other interactions, but I think next turn definitely March into something else. Should I take this from the top to just being able to play it, or to do it or not? Let's see what he draws next. Maybe he will draw some shenanigans that I want to prevent. Right now I cannot prevent Showdown of Discount or Hollow Haunted. Okay, this is 4, 8, 11 X-axis, right? So I'm forced to block. Doesn't matter what I block, they all have trample. They all have trample. My turn. Another Spell Pierce on top. Not really looking for the Spell Pierce, but let's see. Let's keep it. So next turn we're gonna march what okay, another Jukai. Okay. Now opponent goes in. We're gonna block you and we're gonna... How much is it? 3, 6. Or 6? Is it 6? This is 6, right? Let's go for 6. Gain some life back. Take a good hit. Okay, Fading Hope on top. This means we can... No, we cannot play you and reconfigure it. Is this the end? I think this is the end, right? I think this was a little bit too greedy for me to play. Yeah, there is literally nothing I think I can do, right? Okay, let's see what my opponent can top deck. Maybe we gain a little bit more information. A land, okay. Good. Don't need to wait here, but we know how to sideboard now against our runes. So we're gonna definitely remove one of you, remove one of you, remove Saw It Coming. Reality chip is good. Plate of Oni. Don't know. So let's put Ray. Let's put you. Let's put you. How good is Hermit there? I'm not sure. Let's remove the blade too. I don't think that the blade will be super impactful here. And instead we 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's put another Go Blank, I think. And should we put back the March? Or put in the Kaito? Graveyard Trespasser also. Usually the creatures from them overgrow the Graveyard Trespasser really fast. So Soul Shatter or March? Soul Shatter, I think March is better, right? Yeah, March is better. So I think after this sideboard it should be okay. Curse of Leeches is okay. Here the curses. Yeah, this is okay, I think. This is okay. Let's keep it like this. We are on the play now. And let's see how my opponent sideboarded here. I don't know what he could sideboard against me. We play first, of course. Go blanks 2 times, Meathook Massacre and Reality Chips. Sounds good. Sounds good. And let's play our thingy upon with a tap land. We are gaining more information. Curse on top, but Go Blank will go first. Okay, another curse. Should we start ticking the curses? I think so, right? I don't really know if I want to curse or Go Blank him right now. But curse will slowly ticking, and if he does nothing, it will transform. So this is okayish. I need another black source from the top. This will be something I'm looking forward to. And let's see if my opponent has Runeforge Champion here. Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay, interesting. Takes away my reality chip. That's okay. Then we're gonna go blank on you. Let's see what my opponent runes and lands. Okay. Drain him one more time. Jukai, okay. Nothing else? Nope. Okay, another land is good. And we're gonna play you. Return the Jukai. He has protection, okay, sure. Not mad about it, not at all. This is what he sideboarded, right? Tamio safekeeping. Now let's see how far he can grow everything and if he can top deck another land. If we top deck another land, of course we Meathook Massacre everything. Okay. 3 card draws. Another land. Another rune, okay. So give me a land from the top game and then we are good to go. And this is not a land from the top. This is a land, but tap land. So I think we're gonna go blank. Meathook I can currently only for 2, so let's go blank. Let's see. Showdown the Skull Discard, so this must be something really powerful for him. Really powerful. Another Showdown the Skull. This gets Spell Pierced. Okay, and then we're gonna sweep next turn. This is how it should go. Sad part is we're gonna sweep also our creature, but c'est la vie, we can redraw a lot of cards with Curse. Opponent is a little bit mad. regarding on this long. Let's go for 3. Sadly, we're gonna kill our thingy. And opponent cannot cast things for 5 mana. Let's go play the land. Drain the opponent a little bit more. And let's see what opponent can top deck now. Very nice. Very important that he destroyed the one curse, not this curse, because this will be painful. Good draw, good draw. Okay. We're gonna play you. Give everything -2. And draw another card. Oh, Tiefling is also okay. Invading announcement for 1. Bye-bye. Invading announcement. Interesting. Is he a sideboard card or he didn't draw it last time? Reality chip is good. Curse is also good, to be honest. Right? Both of them are good. Good draws, good draws. We play reality chip. We play Skydiver, kicked for 2. Take over the reality chip, play the land, and keep up the Jwari Disruption. So my opponent with a land from the top. Sure. Turns to knight. And now we have a pretty big boy here. Now let's play from the top. Let's play you, attach to him, and play you to turn it to daytime, so we draw more cards, right? He don't have artifacts, right? He has enchantments. That's okay. Next, атакуйте. And then the turn. We attach it to him again. Yes. Then we draw cards. Drain him. Another March, another Fading Hope is nice. And you see how big he starts getting? This is huge. Resolve. I don't know why my opponent didn't attack. They're all flyers. Takuma don't need it. Another curse, yeah, this is something I'm looking for. Play the lands. Play the curses. Play you. So you see how it is escalating, right? This is basically what we are doing. Go down. I'm sorry. Let's go in. And the opponent had enough. So now in game turn 3. Oh, in game 3, I mean, I'm sorry. What he sideboarded. How it called? Tamil safekeeping, not a big deal. Then he had waiting announcement. Can be spell pierced. I think I'm fine with this hand, right? Or what do you think? I think I'm fine. Let's go and escalate again. I mean, now we are on the draw. On the draw, some cards are less impactful than the others. But this is okay. Sure. Let's keep it like this. I liked it. I hope this is a representation enough for this deck in best of 3, but it's similar working in best of 1. So we allow opponent do minor things, but we prevent the biggest things that can change the game or turn the game around. Like the counter on Showdown the Scout was a huge hit for opponent, right? This is why we had the opportunity and the time to establish our combo, establish our abilities. This is also a good hand to be on the draw. We have some interactions, we have some removals. This is really important. Opponent mulliganed. Okay. Commune. Commune, my friend, commune. Let's see, another reality chip is okay. Jukai. Jukai is founded. Okay, Spell Pierce. Let's play the reality chip, I would say, just to have the visibility on top. So we have a little bit more information, and information is key. In general, Magic is all about information, right? Fuck. This is a fuck. I didn't thought about it. I didn't thought about the freaking Hollow Haunted. So now we do need to do what? We need to grasp in the main phase, so he cannot escalate with his how you call it, enchantments, and prevent as much enchantments as we can. This will be difficult. This was my mistake that I allowed him to play the Hollow Haunted. Definitely my mistake. Sure. Resolve. The circle, sure. We have another one, so it's not a big deal. An opponent. Let's see, 2 mana. What do you have? Resolve 1 rune. Counter the card draw. Okay. Play the reality chip and keep up the Jwari Disruption, just in case he plays Showdown of the Skull. Because now, shit. Now Showdown of the Skull can resolve. Rune of Speed, okay. This can go for 1, right? This is not enough. Resolve. My opponent drew Jukai. Wow, amazing draw. Amazing draw. Perfect from the mana, perfect for him. Nice. So now I don't see any possibility for me to get out of this game. No possibility. Yeah, big hit on... I cannot even kill the 4/4, right? No, I can kill one of the 4/4. Okay, let's see what my opponent is gonna draw. Okay. Pass. Let's go for 3/5, right? Yeah. 5. Submit. Let's kill you. Autoplay. Then we're gonna go here. This is 12 damage. But I don't see a way out. This was my mistake. I'm so dumb, huh? I'm so dumb. I let him resolve it, and let's say good game. And let him finish me. Yeah. This was my mistake. I should have thought about it. Yeah, this deck relies on a lot of your thinking and not hurrying into the games, right? Really much. If I would have thought Jukai give a reduction, this means Hollow Haunted or Showdown of the Skull on turn 3, I would have keep up my Spell Pierce, I would have keep up my Jwari, right? So we had the abilities. Opponent is tenting, but he deserves it because I am too dumb. I made my mistakes, but okay. Let's go into best of 1 and see how the deck will perform there. And I will play my best of 1 games without changes, like without adaptations to the best of 1. Basically how you saw it here in the previous deck. So let's go there. And here we are in our best of 1 game, Sumabusha. Welcome to the game. Opponent goes first is annoying, but It's okay, I think. Turn 1 Tapland, turn 2 Reality Chip, turn 3 Curse, and then we can keep up the Spell Pierces. So let's see what we are up against here. Maybe easy dragons? I play against a lot of easy with this deck, I don't know. Dimir seems to... Oh no, Simic. Simic is cool. Oh, he's ramping somewhere. This is why we're gonna go a turn slower, but keep up the Spell Pierce. Because this ramp, maybe in Jessica Chariot, the Spell Pierce will prevent it. Sure. Okay, then let's play you. On top we have a land. This is a lot of lands. My friend. Now let's see what my opponent has to offer. What do you have, my friend? Okay. 5 mana available. Prospecting Keeper, sure. 6 mana available. This is a lot of mana. I would happy to see a Meathook from the top, but who am I to judge, right? Who am I to judge here? Pass. My turn. Okay, Skydiver next turn. I could play you and keep up the Spell Pierce, but I think he can play almost anything right now. So, let's try it. Oi, no attacks. We have some possibilities here. Definitely. So currently I'm not sure what my opponent is playing. I think he knows that I have some sort of interaction. Storm the Festival, bro. This is painful. I'm sorry. Storm the Festival countered most likely Coma or something like this, right? Another Curse. I equip you now, right? For 2, play, keep up 1 mana, and then do nothing. Drain my opponent a little bit, let's see. 4 mana. We can pretend that we have something. When we put the stops here, you see? If we put the stops. I think on mobile you need to click it here. As far as I know, maybe you can click it here. To pretend that we have another Spell Pierce or something. Okay. Cool Tamio, bro. That's okay. I'm not somebody who really cares about it, but okay. My turn. Okay, another Tiefling, another land. Let's play the Tiefling unkicked. Let's play you. And how much? 3? Yeah, I can do for 3, but I don't really care about it. I'm gonna end the turn. Drain my opponent. Let's see if he has something for 5 mana that I can counter with Jwari Disruption. 6 mana, no? Need to keep in mind always the Tangled. And I noticed this, I saw it somewhere online, I think on Twitter. Somebody tweeted a similar list with Tamio ramp into foreign collects and something else. Okay. What else, my friend? Now, how much mana you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 mana? 4 mana. Jessica Chariot? It could be Jessica Chariot, right? Meathook? Sure. Resolve. Interesting that this list runs Meathook. Never saw it, but okay. Tap or untap. Okay. Resolve. Should we march it now? I think so, right? What does my opponent has there? Bloodchief Thirst. Okay. Pass. Let's do it for 1. Submit 0. Kill him so he don't get his thingy out there. Play the Curse on him and play the Jwari Disruption. Draw some cards. Drain my opponent. Opponent has 6 mana, right? It's not enough to... Oh, Spell Pierce is actually really good. 6 mana is not enough to recast Storm the Festival. And Fading Hope and Spell Pierce will help me to stay here. Okay. Interesting game. Wouldn't expect to play against something like this in best of 1 queue. Question is how he deals with aggressive decks, because best of 1 is in general more aggro orientated, right? Resolve. Phyrexia. Pass. Let's bounce him. I don't know where he's ramping, but looks like he needs to ramp there. And this is okay. This is okay. Then we're gonna attach other leech on him. Right? Yeah. This way we have 4 mana open. We can draw Saw It Coming and stuff like this. And the turn. Gonna leech my opponent again and draw 3 cards. Oh, okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Definitely not. We need some creature from the top for our reality chip, but I'm certain we can find it. So, decisions. How much mana? 1, 2, and 8. Okay, 8 mana is a lot, but still, Spell Pierce will do good against Storm the Festival.
Such an imperfect form.
Such an imperfect form. Okay. Pass. Pass. Let's go here for 1. Maybe opponent will be delighted to use something on me. Maybe he has some counter spells. And now he already plus Tamio, so he cannot get it back. Si, senor. Now Tamio will die. Another one, okay. You think he has some bounce spells? I think so, right? This is why. Let's go with both on him. Ah, this is how you are. Okay. You don't have bounce spells. He has giants. Infernal Grasp will be countered. We kill the Tamil. Gain some life, and now we can do what? We play you. And we play... do I need to play something else? We have a land on top. To attach to the leech, I think it will fall off. I never attached it to the leech, but I think it will fall off. But I want a double spell in this turn. Just to have it become Submit 0, right? We don't need to bounce anything. We attach it to him. We draw some cards. My opponent has 1. Still not enough to cast Storm the Festival. And we have enough to get the Skydiver and Meathook from top. So now things like Coma will also be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Opponent draws a land, okay. Good draw from my opponent, I think. Okay, we have another Meathook on top. Reality Chip and Blade. I think we return the Blade, right? Yeah. And then I think we're gonna play the Skydiver. Kicked for 2. You know this game. You know this game. Attach the reality chip. Then we're gonna play the Oni. Right? Or the Meathookie. Meathookie, I think. For 0 is okay. And the land. And do we keep the Fading Hope on top? I think so. We are not gonna attack. End the turn. Transform it back to daytime. Attach it to my opponent. We draw things from the top. Let's see what we get there. Oh, saw it coming, okay. And I saw it coming in the hand. Interesting. Lolly. Perfect in time, huh? Perfectly in time. Create some spiders. It's okay. We can bounce the spiders. Saw it coming, not needed. Another Meathookie. Do I play the other Meathookie for 1 or do I go for you? I think I go for you. Attach it to you. Kill the lolly. We kill the advantage here. Resolve. And play untap land. And then the turn. Draw more cards. Interesting game, huh? I think it will be the last game for me. Because it takes already ages and we played already a lot of best of 3. But you saw what we are doing here, right? I mean, this is pretty obvious. Okay, then let's play you, I would say, right? Yeah. Let's play you. Then let's play 1 Meathook for nothing. No. 4 mana. 4 mana for 1, then I have only 1 mana left. So let's go like this. And then we go in the air. 1, 2. Punchy. And we keep up Spell Pierce and... Why is opponent jumpy? We keep up Spell Pierce and saw it coming. So this is, I think, pretty good. And if we would, for example, foretell now, we will not be able to saw it coming and Spell Pierce. Bam. Leechy. Leechy. So, my friend, you have something else? Another Meathook. Okay. I say no. I say no. Okay. Doesn't really matter. Oh, we keep both of them top. Doesn't matter. Draw both of them. Play the land. There is another land. Let's go in. And can I kill him somehow from here on? Not right. Pum 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 pum. Let's play you. Doesn't really matter. Resolve. Discard the land and the Meathook. The Meathook is better. Draw more cards. Not that I deck myself now. 20 cards left in the library. This is library. And my opponent with Storm the Festival. No, another Meathook. I can still counter it, right? You cannot. For 5. Si, senor. But Spell Pierce you cannot cast. You cannot prevent. Let's go. This is how it rolls, my friends. Let's go to the breakdown. And here we are in the deck breakdown. And yeah, you saw how fast this deck can escalate, how controlish this deck can be, but also you can have some aggressive type of plays too. Like, not that you win on turn 4 or 5, I will never even say it, but wins like on turn 6, 7 are possible. So it's more mid-range controlish type of deck, right? We counter stuff, we gain advantages, we gain a lot of life, and slowly leech out our opponent with our curses, with our counter spells, and so on. So this is a really, I think, balanced and nice deck to try out, and definitely if you are tired of this meta, I mean, against runes, yeah, it was my mistake, right? In this best of 3 game, I should have played a little bit smarter, but maybe it's because it's so early on, I didn't know, but just a misplay. I was just a little bit maybe too fast, and it's also something I read last time. I don't remember, it was on Reddit or on Twitter. Somebody said or asked the pro players, what is the most important thing you learned over time? And a lot of them, like top 5, and a lot of them put in the top 3 taking time. Because often, especially if you play a lot of Magic, you come in this autopilot mode where you already know the patterns, you already play it, and then suddenly you are in a situation where you maybe do not thought enough about the next turn. This is why important, guys, also maybe for you, and I try to utilize in the last few days, let's say, more. I don't know why I did it now, but usually I try to take extra time. So maybe you recognize it in my previous videos where I always say, okay, like this turn we played this, he could maybe play something else, then how can we answer it, how can we deal with it? And especially with this deck where we have a lot of instant speed removal, we have a lot of counter spells that are versatile, we have a lot of enchantment stuff or life gain or card draw for the future, because often, for example, when I start playing this deck, I forgot about keeping mana open if I have Curse of Surveillance here, because there is always possibility you can draw Fading Hope, always possibility to draw Spell Pierce, possibility to draw Jwari Disruption. Things like this, or March, for example, things like this you need to take into account when you make your decision already in your turn, so that you, in the opponent's turn, you have maybe other options available to you. And this is, I think, what makes the deck also really unique to play, really versatile. Otherwise, if I would maybe change something for the best of 1, I mean, Blade of the Oni, really cool card to experiment. I don't think it's on a high level. I will definitely try to build different deck with it, maybe more aggro-orientated deck, because I think there is potential there, but he needs to be in that thing. So basically, our win condition is Oni Blade, Curse of Surveillance, and the Leeches, right? The rest is pure control. This is our win conditions. Put a Blade on the Skydiver and go in instantly for 5 damage and prevent in the same time interactions from your opponent, or things like Curse of Surveillance, just lock out the game, draw so many cards that your opponent cannot do anything in any turns, not in your turns, not in their turns. So this is basically what our win condition is. And of course also our manland can do really good. If you have the blue manland, definitely add it. Also I would go with 2, but I don't have it. The blue manland, this is why I don't play it, and it will rotate out, right? It will it rotate out? The blue land? Let me check. Not collected. Let me see. No, it will not rotate out. Why didn't I craft it? This is from Midnight Hunt, right? This is from Midnight Hunt, so it will not rotate out. Oh no, it's from it's from Adventure. It will rotate out. Okay, my bad. It's from Adventure of the Forgotten Realms. It will rotate out. Non-rotatable in September. We will stay with Midnight Hunt, Crimson Ball, and Neon Dynasty, and the sets that will come out. This is why these 4 sets will rotate out. And this is why I don't wanna spend or waste there the wild cards to craft it. But if you have it, if you have Hall of the Storm Giant, definitely add it. 1 or 2 copies will be amazing, just as an additional win condition, right? Because currently we are relying on these ones or on the Hive of the Tyrant. Yeah, so far I think we saw the most. I think the best of 3 game showed you really much. Also this best of 1 game showed you the possibilities how we can lock out the game. We play against best of 3. We play against runes. It was, I consider runes an aggro deck, so we played against aggro. You saw in the second matchup after the sideboard how it went, and trust me, in the 3rd game I would have won if I would not have this mistake. 100%. The draws after that what my opponent had with this 1 mana 1/1 and Jukai were just not impactful enough. They would not do anything to me. This is why I would have won if I would not have made the mistake. 100%. And against aggro we are really good. We are really good because we can bounce a lot of things from them. Also against mono white I have some games, and also against easy dragons. I won a lot of games. I think I won 3 games against easy dragons, and I lost 1 game against easy dragons. I need to check in my untap stats how it is. But I won against easy dragons pretty much. Let's say I won more against easy dragons and I lost 100%. Because not only we have bounce and interaction spells, but we have also this, for example, the famous play from them in turn 3, not playing a land and playing Iteration. Jwari Disruption just punished this place, right? Then maybe Reality Chip later on can really give you so much information and so much advantage that they cannot finish out the games. And the win conditions from them are usually Goldspan Dragons, and Goldspan Dragons have difficulties as soon as you start gaining life. And we are gaining a lot of life with our Curse of Leeches. For example, we can also weaken our the Goldspan Dragons in general, all the dragons with Behold the Unspeakable. So against dragons I never had an issue. Against mono white, not that I'm lying, I didn't had a lot of matchups. I think I played 1 against mono white second spell, and I won there too because they had this spirit that poops out flying 1/1 spirits, and I top deck like a king. I had like a Behold. From Behold I top deck Curse. From Curse I top deck Meathook, and from there on it was GG already. So they didn't have a lot of possibilities there, and I stayed alive I think with Curse, and I had like March of the Wretched Sorrow. This kept me alive long enough to draw all my abilities here. Yeah, otherwise guys, I hope this was interesting. Yeah, for the sideboard, I'm sorry, sideboard. I talked about sideboard already a little bit in the intro, explained what card for what, but you saw it also in the best of 3 game, how I sideboard against aggro. So basically aggro, you push in your Infernal Grasp, depends what aggro you're playing. If it's mono white or maybe just pure Celestial enchantments, you can easily go with Ray of Embellishment because Jukai and Runeforce Champion, they're both white, so you can easily for 1 mana kill them. This is really nice. Go blank against Naya runes are really good because they tend to take stuff back from the graveyard, and this is just helpful. Also Graveyard Trespasser. Naya runes often overgrow them, but the normal Celestia enchantments, for example, there you can maybe play also your Graveyard Trespasser because they tend more on the graveyard synergy. Kaito in control matchups, for example, the first matchup against Golgari was it? Yeah, Golgari matchup. That's the first game. I don't know, he was not there, or he was, I don't know. He was just checking my hand. I don't know what he was doing. There I will, for example, on my second game, I would have maybe put in Kaitos instead of Curse of Leeches, and maybe instead of Blade of Oni. Oh no, I'm sorry, instead of Meathook Massacre, because I think he didn't had a lot of stuff to remove there. So I will definitely maybe cut a Meathook Massacre, cut one of the curses, and maybe one of the marches, right? And then I will put 3 Kaitos in, because against control they are in general really powerful. Come on turn 3, phasing out, creating a ninja that cannot be blocked. Also, you can use the Moni Blade later on the ninja that you are creating, and then it's suddenly a 5/5 with Menace unblockable. I mean, Menace plays not a lot big role then after that, but still it's a 5/5 unblockable ninja that constantly can go in for damage and finish out the game just in 4 turns. So this is also really nice addition there. Yeah, I think this is so far it for the deck, guys. Here for the mana base, if somebody wondering, is 23 lands, but if you just average 2.3, if you just copy my deck from the description down below, you will see all the information you needed. Otherwise, let me know if you wanna do some additions. I will not run more reality chips. You saw maybe sometimes when we draw 2 or 3, we need some creatures to attach it. Curse of the Leeches is not always a creature that we need, and the rest is combo pieces like Skydiver and Oni are always profit from each other, and of course from our Zagas the creatures can also be used to attach the reality chip, but I will not run 4 of them. 2 to 3 is good. I found here 3 is really nice because we have a lot of 1 mana spells. We can often on turn 5 play our Skydiver, attach this reality chip. You saw this play. I had this play often also here in this gameplay. We attach the reality chip and then we suddenly have Fading Home with Spell Pierce also available from the top of our library or maybe in our hand with 1 open mana. Yeah, on this spot, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like it. If you do, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao.